So welcome to 1750, the big war in Europe between, well, the Fraticelli and Lollard on one side against the Waldensians on the other has concluded. You can see that 11 provinces have been taken by the Fraticelli and 2 provinces, this one as well, have actually been taken by the Lollard. So yeah, they are still missing some provinces from the Reformed. I wonder if they're ever going to go after this by calling in the Fraticelli. They would certainly win. The Reformed have no allies on their side. But yeah, for now, the Waldensians are still separating these two powers, but they might come to blows at some point. But then again, you know, they have been bordering the Bogomilist for so long, and yet they're still best buddies. So I doubt that we're ever going to see any problems between the Fraticelli and their chosen allies. Now, a lot of other cool things have in fact happened. You can see that the Zionists have landed successfully in Crete because they have declared a crusade, if I'm not mistaken, against the Karites, and they're going to win that most definitely, especially now that they have landed on that capital. Even though their provinces are being besieged here, I think they're just going to win simply by besieging the Karaite capital. We do have the fetishists who have finally found a nation that they can actually fight, and that is the Sunni nation. So they have occupied all of the Sunni provinces here in Africa, at least the Sunni faith provinces in Africa, and the only problem they have is that they have not a single ship. They have no navy, and therefore they're being blockaded from making their way to mainland, I guess, Arabia. So this is all they can really occupy with their huge army, but I suppose that should be sufficient to at least take over some provinces. Another interesting thing, I guess what happened was that the Mayans declared a war against the Catholics. They lost more heavily than before, so I'm guessing controlling the war goal is in fact helping them. And this is interesting because this is actually the first offensive war we see from the Mayans that they have, I think, been in ever, I guess. I think the Nahuatl declared a war. So this is the first time the Mayans declare a war, and it's also the first time that they are in a war at all since the last, I guess, 200 years maybe. So yeah, we shall see. They're probably going to take over all of Catholic Louisiana. That'd be my guess anyways. Other than that, we also have, the body against the Manichaeans. That is basically just because the Hindus decided to go after them. Not too important, although, interestingly enough, the Manichaeans are so far able to win both of these wars, but I guess that's because they control their capital. We shall see how things develop here. The Inti still are in their war against Nahuatl, losing horribly. So I guess Lollard Columbia is such a key, such a key country in that, no one's able to do anything if they don't get any access here. So that's kind of fun. In fact, never mind. The Nahuatl actually sent over troops this time around. Okay, and they managed to gain a province out of this. Okay, so the Nahuatl have learned their lessons from previous wars. They're now a little bit more capable of sending their troops across. Okay, so I gotta give them credit for that, of course. Other than that, we have the Shinto, the kind of like colonial war against the Copts. The Bogomilists obviously did join, but since it's not an imperialist war and the war goal is in the hands of the Shinto, I do believe that they're going to get whatever they want out of this. Now, the fetishes, they gotta peace out. They gotta peace out soon, because otherwise, I mean, they're just gonna lose war score as long as they stay in this war. Another cool thing that I've found that has actually just popped up is the Jewish holy war against the Sunni. This is, just like the Mayans. The Jews have never really been in any wars, in the last couple of years, and even if they have, it was only on the defense. So that's good to see them finally going after someone, but I'm not sure if it's really a smart choice on their part. I guess we'll see what happens after the fetishists peace out, which they, undoubtedly will have to do sometime soon. And then, depending on how much land is left, the Jews will actually have a chance to besiege some of this. The Sunni do have quite a lot of forces, so I think if they could actually get all of their troops, oh my god, they have so many men. If they get all of their troops over to fight the Jews, then they are going to be defeated, quite likely. So, yeah. The Zunids have peaced out. They did take over that one province. That was exactly what I expected. So, yeah, it was not really a very important war for them. But, you know, it's good. In fact, the Massalians even managed to take some of these provinces. I suppose the Zunids gave them back. I think that's what happened. Okay. Other than that, we have the Second Cathar Papal Imperialist War. So the Cathars are really going after the Catholics. I gotta say, they've been messing with them ever since they settled in the Caribbean, and they've never stopped. They've never stopped bothering them. Now they're even going after the Papal State. Yeah, I mean, I guess the Cathars are definitely picking their targets right. I don't think they have ever lost a war, so that's good for them. So, the Shinto are winning their colonial war. The Mayans are now winning their war against the Catholics. Alright, that is good to see. The Mayans actually doing something useful. The Hindu... Now, I'm actually kind of surprised that the Manicians are able to win both of their wars so far. So, that is quite impressive indeed. Now, I feel like we actually missed a peace deal? I'm not sure. Maybe we have, maybe we haven't. No, I think it's fine. Yeah, I think everything is okay. I wonder why. Well, I guess it's because they hold their capital. That must be it. They hold their capital, and that's simply so much war score, no one can really do anything about it. I assume that must be the reason. Okay. So now the fetishes are down to 13% war score. They can still get something out of it, obviously, but they really would have got more had they pieced out earlier. Oh well. Yeah, that's cool, I guess. Let's have a quick look at the great powers here. So now no longer are the Zoroastrians number one. We now have the Shinto, but then again, this is due to the fact that they have a subject nation. Well, that is contributing to their development. If we just go by single development, well, actually the Fraticelli would win now that they have defeated the Waldensians. So, interesting. The Reformed are up here as well. So are the Cathars. The Fetishists don't really have that many provinces, but they have embraced the Enlightenment, and so have the Copts. That's why they are up here. I guess we could have a look at the institutions. You can see the Copts have embraced the fetishes as well. Paulicians, Nestorians, and Monophysites too. Other than that, most of the world is still lacking it. In fact, the Lollards don't even have the manufactories yet. Neither do the Waldensians. And the Norse, they at least now have the manufactories, so that's good for them. Zoroastrians have Enlightenment growing. Okay. Now, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in the end of the last episode, but the Zigri managed to take some provinces from the Tengri, but not all of their cores. They took about half, I would say, what they lost in the first war, so it was certainly successful, but they could have done better. However, I think that that was so much devastation for the Tengri, they're not going to be able to recuperate from that. That was it. They will just get continuously going to get attacked, and eventually just going to get gobbled up. That is what I think. Yeah, just like the Orthodox, who are now being overrun by the Iconoclasts and quite likely going to get full annexed. I could imagine. That's what I would do, anyway. So, we have the Inti fighting a war against Venezuela. So they've just lost a war against Nahuatl. And now they're at war with Venezuela and the Caribbean. So far, though, they're winning, so that's quite impressive. We have the fetishes still not piecing out. At least they cannot lose any more war scores, so I suppose that's good for them. The Jews are at 0%. Okay. The Shinto winning their wars still. And the Samaritans against the Manicians. Now, the Manicians are in 3 wars now, but they're winning all of them. Every single war, they're winning. Now, I still feel like, what war are we missing? Right, the Cathars. Okay, so there it is, the Orthodox. Oh my god, they're actually left alive. That's kind of mean. That's kind of mean. Who has a core here? D07. Okay, I don't know who that is, but will not touch it. So yeah, the Cathars did piece out the Papal State. They took a few provinces, nothing too spectacular. like maybe 4 provinces, because those are actually both colonies. So they could like 3 provinces. All right, not too shabby, but not too special. I guess they could have just full annexed the Papal State, but for some reason they did not want to do that. All right, so Protestant Brazil has been established, and they're now continuously growing. So does Norse La Plata. Okay. So Venezuela is trying to fight back. I doubt they're going to really be able to do a good job. Yeah, they have almost no armies. Too bad for them. And the Mayans did peace out Catholic Louisiana, and they took quite a lot of land. Almost everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 provinces. They could have taken number 10, but apparently they did not have enough war score for that. Okay, so the Mayans continue to act as a buffer between the Totemist and the Nahuatl, which I find is kind of a shame, because I would really like to see a big war between these two nations. Because unlike, with the Inti, there is not like this kind of bottleneck. They could really fight on a huge front if the Mayans were to actually cease to exist. But yeah, maybe we will never see this. That, I guess, depends. Okay, Europe seems to be quiet, except for some Protestant separatists, of all people. Okay, the Cathars continue to colonize. No one has yet really shown a lot of interest in Italy, which I find somewhat surprising, in fact. Okay, there we just saw the peace between the fetishists. They ended up only taking 4 provinces. Not really a big deal, but considering that they did not have control over the war target, I guess it was good. Yes. So, what else have we got going on? We still have the Shinto fighting the Copts. Now, I do believe this is because of Coptic Alaska, or this. I don't actually know, but I'm guessing it's going against it's about North America. Who do we have here? The Animists. Oh, interesting. The Animists are in the Philippines. I guess that does make sense since they started out down here. What else have we got going on? I feel like tons of wars have ended, and I've basically missed them all. Well, quite frankly, don't even remember all of them. So, yeah, there's that, I guess. Wow. So Europe is, I guess, except for the Slavs, is looking kind of nice. Actually, and of course these 2 provinces, why are there not being, there's so many, it's so strange that these provinces are just not being colonized. There's no reason for it. People just don't seem to like them for one reason or another. Okay, so the Reformed want to continue to take over Southeast Africa. The Lollards have completely taken over Madagascar, and now they continue to spread their influence, although they have to fight some Zuni zealots. But I think the Lollards are big enough that they are not going to be forced to convert, like we have seen with other nations previously. The Inti are now at war with the Fraticelli. Okay, they're winning their war against Venezuela, although not as well. Venezuela actually has 100,000 men, 90,000 in fact. Pretty good. What's this? Fraticelli and the Norse. Fraticelli and Iconoclast, I should say, against the Norse, Protestant, and Inti. Okay. Now, I guess the Inti are not really going to be involved in this too much. It's basically going to be the Norse and the Protestants fighting the Fraticelli. And this time, the Fraticelli did not call in the Bogomilists. Did they break the alliance? They did not. They simply did not call them in. Okay. Well, I guess still we're going to see a pretty clear winner here. You can see mass recruitment going on in the Norse country, but I think it's too late. I think it was too late several episodes ago when they just got destroyed. There we can see, 130,000 men, just absolute. I think that was a stack wipe. That was a stack wipe right there. So the Norse are toast. The Norse are certainly toast. So, the Manicians seem to be able to defend. The Jews are getting absolutely wrecked by the Sunni. That was a war that was not well done. And it looks as though the fetishists are at war with the Lollards again. Okay. What kind of... they once again declared an imperialist war. That's just stupid. you're gonna lose wars. It's just dumb. Go for a different war goal, and you might actually win. But yeah, whatever. Inti are still on a winning spree against Venezuela. And the Fraticelli are so far losing. But I think it's only a matter of time until they will actually get control of Stockholm. And then their war score is going to skyrocket. That's for sure. Yeah, they're already making some really nice headway into the Norse provinces. But they're not willing to give the Iconoclasts anything. They want all of it for themselves. Yeah, well, I may suppose that's a smart move. As for religions, Europe is pretty representative. Of course, the Catholic is wrong, but the rest pretty accurate. Fraticelli here, Waldensians, Lollards looking awfully nice. So I think out of Europe, the Fraticelli, Lollards, and Cathars are probably the strongest nations. Well, I guess we shouldn't forget about the Reformed. They are still powerful because they obviously control a lot of the trade. By the way, I wonder, what is the, most valuable trade node? 95. What? 20? Okay, that's pretty bad. 18. Yeah, so it's by far the English Channel. But the Totemists are also making quite a lot of money. So I wonder where that is all coming from. The Caribbean is not really giving all that much money. So yeah, by far, this is the best node to have. So, and I think just because the Reform controls so much, they are just doing well, much better than you would think, judging by the size of their country. All right, so the Mahayana declared a war in the Confucians, and they're winning quite easily. It looks. The Cathars are still losing. Wait, oh, look at that. Oh, now that is actually interesting. Okay, so maybe we can finally see the Fraticelli somewhat stagger here. So they are in several wars. They're defending the Lollards against the Fetishes and against the Cathars. They're also in a war against the Norse together with the Iconoclasts. So, even though I believe the Norse are toast, they can at least, occupy the Fraticelli forces long enough for the mighty Cathar host to deal some serious damage to the Lollards here. Yes, look at that. So, the Cathars are just waltzing over France, and they have a big enough army over here to be able to deal with this one Fraticelli troop. Okay, so as long as the Fraticelli are busy in the Norse, I think the Cathars can make some progress. But as soon as they peace out, you better have enough war score accumulated, because otherwise, you're not gonna get anything. That is for sure. Alright, well, that's actually interesting. Alright, I'm kind of surprised to see that they were going for this. Okay, and the Shinto, I assume, did win their war against the Copts. They did form a new province, Alaska. So we have Shinto, California, and Shinto, Alaska. But the Copts still own some provinces here, which does surprise me somewhat. Okay. And what else have we got going on? The Inti are not winning their war that much anymore. They still do not have the war goal, and that's hurting them a lot. Yeah, and the fetishes, yeah, right, okay, remember, we still know about that. Alright. Good, well, I guess we're gonna go and look at Europe, because this is, in fact, quite interesting. Also, Zoroastrians at war with the Shinto. Hold on, what's this all about? What is this all about? Zoroastrians at war with the Shinto. When did that happen? Oh, right, that has just been declared. So, the Sikh and Shinto together going after Zoroastrians. Alright, so far they're losing quite heavily, though. All battles as well as the war goal. Alright, well, but as I said, I would like to see how this war in Europe develops. And yeah, we can see the Cathars doing an awfully nice job. Wow, I'm proud of them. I'm proud to finally see the Fraticelli struggle in a war. Now, they are amassing their troops, however, so maybe you could surround them and destroy this army. That would be really good before your armies is going to get taken over. Yeah, so I'm guessing you haven't actually pieced out yet, but you're letting the Iconoclasts deal with the last remaining Norse troops. You only have a few forces here. That is smart. I would definitely agree. So you have 150. Okay, this is insane. The Fraticelli have 150,000 men dealing with the Cathars, whereas they have also another 50,000 men just trying to defeat the Norse. And of course, they can rely on the help of their mighty and trusty allies to help them in this war. So I do hope that not only the Cathar fleet is going to do a great job here, but that also the war score from occupying France is going to be enough for the Cathars to actually grow powerful. Because I feel like they deserve it. They deserve some provinces here. The fetishes are losing, unfortunately, but that is just simply to be expected. If you don't have a fleet, don't declare war for overseas territory. Yeah. Inti still clinging on to their war against Venezuela. That's going to be interesting to see. And the Shinto, they got to turn this war around. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster for them. Anyways, though, with this interesting war in Europe, we're going to leave this episode off, and I'll see you guys next time.